I think that there's a connection that a lot of us are not seeing, as well as a lot of confusion because of the spell of language that we've been given, as well as the purposeful deception through disinformation and lies to keep us in a state of confusion and fear. So think about this. We're really not alone. There is another group of people just like us out there. So what I mean is there's another group of people in this world who are having or have had an experience that is highly abnormal. And when they tell people about their experience, most people don't believe them. And most of the accounts within this group, um, their experiences are very, very similar. Um, most people within these group, um, most people that experience this, they come from different countries, they have different beliefs, both male and female, and some of them have other people that witness their experience as well. Some of these people suffer mentally as a result of their experiences, and the group is often ridiculed and dismissed by others. And the group's experience is rarely reported by mainstream media, and if it is, it's usually done in a way, in a style to manipulate your reaction to whether or not you believe them. So notice how all of these things within this group are very similar to our experience as targeted individuals and victims of gang stalking. So you've probably guessed what group of people that I'm talking about. That's alien contactees and more specifically, alien abductees. So now I think it's really important here not to let your existing beliefs about what is possible and what is not possible stop you from being able to absorb this information and do some type of investigation and thinking before you actually write off the information um, as not being true. Okay, so you need to know that we've been put under a spell using words to confuse us. So just to, get out any confusion during this video, when I say alien, I'm referring to a negative entity who is disagreeable towards real humans and the Most High. This is referring to fallen angels, jinns, and demons. These are all words to describe the same group of entities. They are interdimensional and they are the ones behind the scenes pushing the thoughts to promote the New Age agenda and the New World Order. I have been looking into this and I know that it's definitely connected. And the story is always the same with the abductees. So these people, they're taken, time is missing, and they're met by some greys who do some type of genetic manipulation and remove eggs from women and sperm from men in order to create hybrids. So some of them report a physical sexual encounter with these beings, and some of them report the whole abduction experience to be pleasant, while others describe their experience as extremely horrific. Some of the abductees are repeatedly abducted at different times within their lives, and some of them actually get to meet their alien hybrid children. And what I've heard is that they're creating hybrids and then abducting people and breeding the hybrids that was created with another with an abductee in order to create a hybrid that has more human features. So they keep repeating the process until you have a being that is a hybrid, but it looks like a human being. And some of these hybrids are reported to be living off world in different star systems. And some, we're told, and I'm obviously guessing the ones that look more human, are being integrated into society and have been given homes and some type of story to blend into society while they learn how to act and blend in like a human, therefore going unnoticed. They also describe the Greys to be devoid of any emotions of their own, but that the Greys are aware of the abductees having emotions and feelings, etc. So they don't have emotions, but they know that we do. Okay. Another thing to note here is that the abductees said the aliens communicated to each other telepathically whilst they had been abducted. This means that telepathy would be coded into their DNA, and their hybrid offsprings would have these telepathic DNA traits, as well as the traits of lack of emotions. So I know my gang stalking neighbours can read my thoughts, and I've seen them do some type of telepathic communication where it looked like one controlled the other. And it's funny how the one that did the controlling is the one that I've called out as being a shapeshifter. So these aren't just wild accusations. He's pretty much confirmed to me um, that he is a shapeshifter and hasn't really gone that far to try and hide it. Um, because they know that the majority of people are not going to believe me anyway, because their perception of what is possible has been shrunk by the same beings that I'm literally trying to tell you that exist. So basically, what I'm saying is this: it seems like there are shapeshifters amongst us. The shapeshifters are what you would class as the jinn and demons. I say this because demons don't necessarily have bodies, and the jinn, no one knows their true form, as they can take many forms and inhabit human vessels. So my neighbor from number 11, he's like a really thirsty shape-shifting demon gang stalker. And these jinn shapeshifters, I believe they can control and communicate telepathically with the hybrids. And I've seen this on more than one occasion with that particular demon from number 11 controlling the man with the empty eyes next door and his children and his wife. So I just think the sooner people stop writing off other people's experiences off as fake or impossible, the sooner that we'll actually be able to get to the truth. Because before I became aware that there are literally like non-human entities walking around, I always felt a strange alien vibe from some people, especially a lot of white people. Um, that at this time, at that time, like this was even before like I woke up properly or whatever. Um, you know, I just knew that with a lot of them, their vibe was off, and not just in a way as in you're not my type of person, but like in you're actually not from this world. Now I know it's not just some white people that are aliens, because my main demonic shapeshifting jinn family from number 11 are black, and they seem to be the one in control of everyone's mind and definitely do the main stalking and dream warfare. I know I see a black guy when I look at him, but that is just like some type of stolen, cloned vessel, because he's a shapeshifter. So there's that question that sometimes like a lot of people ask, and it pops into my mind as well, like has popped into my mind, like why is it only white people that say that they've been abducted? And there could be a lot of reasons for this. This could be down to genetics. It could be the relationship between the specific lineage of the abductee and the alien, and it could just be because of the relationship between the white race in general and the alien race that abducts them. Okay, so but interesting to note, the first popular alien abduction story was Barney and Betty Hill, an interracial couple. Barney is black and Betty is white. You also have to consider, though, that he had connections with the military, and so do a lot of people that get abducted as well. Um, a majority of alien abduction stories do come from white people, but that doesn't mean because it's happening to another race of people that they are all lying, even if that race does have a history of lying. And you'll find that most of them don't want to talk about it. Just like a lot of women don't want to reveal the fact that they've been molested by some man, they don't want to reveal that they're molested by a soulless grey alien for obviously fear of ridicule or being locked in a mental facility. So just because it's happening to another group of people, don't be deceived into thinking it doesn't concern you or it will never affect you. Okay, because I'm trying to actually let you guys know that it does affect us. Okay, I do believe that as a collective, the white race they do carry out an agenda to suppress melanated beings that have a soul. Because I don't believe that every melanated being has a soul. Every black person has a soul. I don't believe that at all. Yeah, but I do definitely feel like the white race as a collective do carry out this agenda. Individually, I don't believe every white person has this agenda, and some are just trying to live a normal life, some are getting targeted just like us. So, yeah, I will let you know as well, because I do a lot of research and I believe that this is part of the reason why I get targeted so much by these entities. So I can assure you that, when it comes to racism, racism wasn't even created by the white man.
Racism was actually created by a group of fourth dimensional albino reptilians that use the white man to carry out their hate agenda towards the melanated solar being. But anyway, I will show you a couple of examples of some black abductees. And obviously, you can go on YouTube and online and you can look up lots of stories of white people and their experiences. And I'm sure there's other races as well, not just white or black, that get abducted too.
Yeah. Also, there are a lot of black alien contactees, so who haven't been abducted had but have been visited. So you can find accounts on YouTube, and I too have seen some strange things myself. Also, don't forget the Dogon tribe, a group of melanated beings who met with a group of aliens. I think they called them the Nomo. So, and they've seen and described these alien beings, and so you can call them what you want, aliens, demons, etc., whatever. These beings are real. And from what I'm seeing, there are many different species here, all wearing human looking vessels, some able to possess or project as animals, also. And some species may be working for separate agendas, or they may all be working together for one specific purpose. So during my research, a lot of the abductees are told that they're going to be playing a big role in the future, and they will be needed in an upcoming event taking place here on Earth, where they will be directing huge crowds. So some directing huge crowds of people onto spaceships. I believe this is all part of the rapture deception, and these beings are not here to help us ascend, like they tell us, that they tell most of the abductees, but are actually here to control, deceive, take over, and harness our life force energy. I think there are some that require energy in terms of emotions. Probably your jinns and hybrid aliens, like the ones that gang stalk us. And then there are some which need your life force physically from your blood. So this is where you'd get like the reptilians, vampires, and veiled parasitic humans. So I think this is the case, especially with many celebrities that have been seen with the signature frilled black eye, and many of those thrilled celebs are now on house arrest and have like the whole world on lockdown because they've had a bad dose of adrenochrome, or because they've been shut down by Trump and his peeps for being the satanic pedos that they are. And this is why, like, you've got the whole big media thing against Trump. And it's funny how they backed Obama, but look how many people, how many pedos and stuff has been exposed, and people getting shut down. Um, since Trump's been elected, and this is why they're all against him. So, just so you know, most people are locked down right now. Most people in the world were in quarantine, locked down right now, because the satanic pedophiles have been caught and exposed for using adrenochrome, which is harvested from the blood of fearful children in order to stay young. So people like Ellen, Oprah, Tom Hanks, they're pretending to be self-isolated, but when really they're just under investigation for being a satanic blood drinking pedo. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is they've got us thinking these are humans turned demonic. That's not true. A lot of them are not humans, but in fact, they're inhabited by various entities that require blood in also to preserve. Um, they require blood in order to preserve their human appearance. Okay, so like I said, a lot of them have been taken over by the real parasite lizard. You can research this, look into people like Donald Marshall. He went into all of this. Um, yeah, so these people entertaining us in Hollywood, these are demons, okay? And it should be obvious by now that everyone in the world is relative, like everything, sorry, in the world is relative, and it all comes from somewhere and it's all connected. So when you see a million films about, you know, people being taken over by something else, then you need to understand that the movies has given you a word attached to it called entertainment, which comes with like a impression that it's for the purpose of fun, and that the idea in the movie has come from nowhere and should be dismissed in the case that anybody actually tried to bring it up as having been a real experience. Therefore, they have created your reality and shaped your mind and told you what is possible and what is not. So, not only is it ignorant to dismiss things that just because it doesn't fit into the idea that you've been told, especially if you're a good person, it's also very dangerous because at this point, all information needs to be considered before it's been dismissed. So, and on top of it, in fact, like the alien hybridization program is not a new thing at all. It started way back before Barney and Betty Hill. Yeah, the first, I mean, this goes back to like the first person to report this is Enoch. I mean, this goes back to biblical times with the Nephilim hybrids. So please don't tell me that I'm reaching. I'm not reaching. I know what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to write off the possibility that there are some human stalkers. However, I think the majority are hybrid stalkers. Um, if not, then they are all hybrids. And how, like you want to think, how does this work when it comes to family members who stalk? Because I have to bring this up because I've had close family members who stalk. I mean, how can your brother or sister be a hybrid and you be a human? They have the same mum. Some of them have the same mum, dad, etc. Um, and you have to remember that just because we have the same blood, I'm sorry, we have the same parents, doesn't mean that you actually have the same blood, DNA, or level of soul, will, or morals as your sibling. And remember that we're not from this dimension originally, as we are spirit beings. So we're just born into here. So before you came here, you had some level of awareness that you were coming here, whether you were tricked, forced, or volunteered to come here. The same way that some people incarnated to help beings on earth, like the story of Jesus, some people came here to hinder as well. So it would make sense to send someone to join your family unit with a disagreeable spirit to cause some drama, keep an eye on you, and distract you from your purpose. I mean, think about it. If you don't know anyone, um, I mean, think about it, you don't know anyone. Like some of us don't even know ourselves. I mean, I'm still learning who I am, but it seems like somehow these beings that watch us, they know already exactly who we are, and I'm pretty sure they don't want us to remember. So imagine they knew you before you were born, like they knew your mission, they saw you going through a door or portal, basically your mother's womb, and then waited next in line to use that same door just so that they can abort your mission, therefore becoming your younger sister or brother, or they knew which door you would go through and came through first before knowing that you would be coming, therefore taking the position of your older sister or brother within this matrix in order to handle you and to control your thoughts, personality, and emotions. So, whether your family members are conscious of their behavior is for you to decide. However, I have assessed, and my particular case, this family member lacks empathy, is very selfish, and has actually been this way from very young. But it became more apparent when I became older and came out of the spell that you and your family members are all the same, that you came from the same place, and that you have the same destiny, or that you're even both on the same side in this spiritual war. So, if you're not being gang stalked by your family member, then you won't understand what I'm saying. And this is just going to sound a little my theories or whatever might sound a little bit paranoid and harsh. And I get it because before I entered into this whole gang stalking twilight zone, I would have said exactly the same thing as well. And I would have been the first person to be like, you shouldn't say that, that's your family member. Um, but no, let's just be real. Some of these family members are not for us at all. And I noticed that the second I started fighting out, like figuring out a few things, they were all over me like a rash. And how convenient that the very first time I called out, um, my close member, for being a gang stalking, which was the first day that I know that I was being bombarded with directed energy weapons. And that's not really something that is usually that has ever affected me. So, and like literally this happened and it just wouldn't stop happening that day. And I thought I'd have to live with it forever. And so obviously there was some type of neurological manipulation happening that had never happened to me before. So they get mad when you call them out directly. So just know and protect yourself and know that everybody is not who they say that they are. So, my main point of this video is to let you know that basically Earth has been infiltrated from the highest degree, and there are literal alien demon entities walking amongst us, just like in the film that they live. That the director himself said that it isn't a documentary; it's actually sorry, it isn't a film; it's actually a documentary. So, yeah, your celebs and politicians are reptilian parasite, real hosts with no thought of their own because they became the lizard, and your street level gang stalkers are hybrids from greys, which is a failing race that is robotic and have incorporated AI into their biology and have telepathic abilities, which are controlled by some type of jinn shapeshifting demon, which I don't really know what its true form is, but they do take the form of humans and animals, and they can possess other people, especially hybrids, and control them. So it's just funny how we like as targeted individuals having like unique abnormal experiences um, that cannot really be explained, and we're just being completely written off. But we know it's definitely happening, and like for me, it's happening every single time I open my door immediately. Okay, and we have this other group of people who are in contact with aliens, and they create in hybrid races and say that they're here on Earth to integrate. And we're all wondering who's here watching us. It's them and they live. And uh, I mean, come on, a hybrid is an alien, still an alien. Yes, it might be half human, but no, it's an alien. An alien is a demon. The hybrid lineage has AI in its biology. Demons incorporate witchcraft, which is the ability to manipulate your reality, and they integrate into your government. So, this is what I believe is going on. So, it's all connected. Um, and yeah, they're hybrids. So for the people that are saying, they're just humans, no, they're not. My neighbors are definitely not human. If you live here and you become their target, trust me, you're going to know that very, very fast. I mean, they tell you in movies as well. They tell you in scripture. People tell you in their experiences. Um, these people, a lot of these stalkers should tell you just by their behavior, and I'm here telling you as well, um, a lot of these beings are not human. Okay, so there may be a way for us to be able to tell who is human and who is not, and I will make a video about that. Um, but I haven't really tested it to really see, but I have and I haven't. So I'll make a video about that and I'll explain what I'm talking about. Um, Another thing that I just wanted to share, because I felt like in my heart that it is related somehow. Um, and so I thought, after being a targeted individual and doing some research, that 5G is for mind control, because I can see the damage that it's done to trees and birds, etc. And I'm fully aware of the whole AI agenda and how that can be used to wage warfare, especially on a targeted individual. And I'm very aware of the whole transhumanist agenda and everything. Um, but something tells me that 5G is more than what we're being told. And aside from sending harmful frequencies and frying ourselves, I think that there is something else completely alien behind this. I was thinking they would be the ones using it, like the aliens would be the ones basically using the 5G for complete mind control. There was a clip somewhere of a lady who shot at someone working on a tower on a 5G tower because she'd said that she had heard voices coming from the tower. So she does, she didn't want the people putting them up. So that ties into exactly what I was thinking. And there's another theory that I've heard only because I went digging, because I know it's all somehow connected because everything is connected. So there is some info that 5G has to be implemented in order to stop the alien hybrids from being able to continue to mind control, or to be able to weed, or the 5G is going to be used to be able to weed them out somehow. So now, I don't necessarily like immediately just believe that, but I will definitely be waiting to hear some more information on that. And I will see if there are any other connections worth considering before I totally dismiss this. Um, because you got to think, people are being and people have been mind controlled for ages without the use of 5G. They got the whole world basically under control. So unless it was 5G they were using before and didn't tell us, um, and which I know is very possible because I know that they do things like that. They invent things and then they don't tell the public for ages and stuff. And but I know like people have been stalked before the mass installation of 5G, which hasn't even really been rolled out officially, like officially properly everywhere yet. They haven't installed all the towers that they want to install yet. So so people have been stalked before all of this. I know MK Ultra and V2K is real. Even though I'm not a victim of those things, it doesn't stop me from believing that other people are. No two people here are having the same experience on this earth, so no matter how close they are. So obviously, these people are being sent thoughts through V2K, which is separate from 5G. Also, people are being tracked and monitored inside and outside of their homes, visually, mentally, and also the audio as well. I know I am, and again, without 5G. And some of us are on remote neural monitoring without the use of 5G, and they can see through our eyes, ears, etc. Or we definitely have the feeling that they can see through our eyes, ears, and because there's no other explanation that we have um, for how they're able to do some of the things that they're able to do, unless they can see through our eyes, ears, and and hear through our ears and all that. And then again, that is without the use of 5G. So unless they, like I said, created 5G a long time ago and they've been using it all along, then that means 5G is not really about any of those things at all. And I don't really buy that 5G is about faster download speeds. I mean, just that's just stupid. Like the government or whoever is in charge of the 5G rollout is not concerned about how fast that I can stream a film. So this means it may probably serve a different purpose altogether. So again, I'm thinking I'm going to go back and just, like I said, if I see any more information, I will definitely keep a lookout about it being to do with getting rid of the hybrid takeover. Because, and I did see a there was a film actually that actually describes this exact same thing. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this film. I saw this ages ago, but if you can go online and see if you can stream the film or whatever, download the film. It's called Disturbing Behavior. It is exactly what's happening now. Basically, some type of hive mind took over, and everybody's acting really disturbed. Basically, it's like disturbing behavior. And in the end, the way that they were able to, it took over people. Like there was even people that recognized it before, and it ended up taking over them as well. And in the end, the only way that they were able to get rid of these beings or whatever, and pretty much identify them, like it'd be obvious who they were, was by sending a particular frequency that affected them. Okay, so yeah. So obviously, like I said, I don't just believe that 5G is to get rid of hybrids, and you know what I mean, especially with all that information and how I can see that it does damage trees and blah blah blah. But I will like I said, I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on any more information that comes in regards to that before I go ahead and dismiss it. So, another thing is what was I going to say? Yeah, so basically, remember these fallen angels, which are aliens, demons, etc., known as the Watchers. They are, I mean, we're constantly being watched by these entities who are their offspring. Do you see what I'm saying? Who are the offspring of the Watchers? So they fell from their position as the Watchers as they started to interfere and mingle with the ladies, yeah, and started to reproduce, okay, with the humans. So, and also there's actually stories as well of them reproducing with um, or doing some type of, yeah, genetic reproduction with animals as well. Okay, so these are the beings that are watching us. These are the offspring of these beings that are watching us, and they all serve their all-seeing eye, satanic master. It seems, you know what I mean, because I can tell these beings are not here for my. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Some of them do carry a more positive vibe than others, but overall, I no, no. You know, so yes. Another thing to note, this is a bit off topic off the main point, but it's still connected and interesting to note, is that since the whole coronavirus lockdown, um, there's been a lot more UFO sightings. So since the quarantine, this could obviously be because people have a lot more time to do things like look out into the sky, or it may be because the aliens have a lot more airspace as there's a lot less planes. But either way, it's kind of interesting to know. Um, but yeah, so guys, I just wanted to just point all of that out and you know, just encourage people to kind of just look at other things, not just what you already know or think you know. Because I just feel like everything is part of what's going on. It's all connected in some type of way. Okay, so and I know, like I said, I know my neighbor is not a human, particularly number 11. The others I believe may be hybrids. Okay. All right. But definitely that family out, and there's another one there that is not. It basically, when I say they're not human, they are shapeshifters, so they have the ability to shapeshift. But my other ones, they don't. And the ones that I'm talking about that are shapeshifters, they don't. These ones don't eat, or they've never been seen to eat, or or buy food, or anything like that. The others, though, that I'm talking about, the hybrids, they do actually consume food. I've seen them eat. I smell their food as well, sometimes. So yeah, that's also something to note. But yeah, anyway, I know that obviously I live in a matrix, but sometimes I think to myself, is this really happening? And then obviously I open my front door in my tiny little clothes and I see a bunch of demon hybrid stalkers waiting for me. And it just reminds me that, yeah, this is really happening and they do really live. So I wish I could come on here and give the answers, and I can't right now, but I got to inform the people. This is a messed up situation. So, yeah, guys, look into the alien hybrid agenda and basically world domination agenda of the aliens, and into people's alien abduction experiences. And you'll see that it isn't something that was just written about in biblical times. It's still happening, and it is being documented by people. You'll see it's just like us targeted experiences, targeted individuals' experiences. Most of their experiences are very, very similar, and these are all different types of people from everywhere. Okay, guys. So if anybody's got any information that they can send or let me know or comment or anything in regards to this, yeah, let me know. I'll put my um, email address if so anybody wants to send any um, information about this. But yeah, guys, I just don't even know. Like, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. Just the lack of explanation. You know what I mean? But yeah, um, this is what's happening, guys. So yeah, we'll come back with a video on how I feel like we can identify them, because I did do something once, um, and noticed something. Okay, that I'm not sure that would work if they were a hybrid. Do you see? So yeah, I will make a separate video for that. But yeah, thanks for listening.